all know what scripts are. Scripts are good words. Wisdom. The Bible is full of good words, not stories. But you got to make sure you practice your words, because if you're not practicing, you're just reading the script, aren't you? I can read anything. Give me some. I can read what she's saying. I can redo it. Does that mean what she's saying? You see?
So you gotta be careful with that. Rushing into stuff. Somebody is learning it, or they gonna have to. There's no such thing as fast success, and when if it comes too fast, maybe you won't lose it just as quick as you got it.
Because a lot of times,
no such thing. Take your time.
Control people. So how did I lose Tenny? Too worried about repeats over and over again. Stresses. And you know what these type of people would say? Because I leave the door open for a little bit because I'm running around, and it was a habit to leave the door open the week beforehand, before a bird could fly. Working my guts out, trying to be heard and seen. You know what these freaks would say? He deserves that bird flying off one. Pretty sad, isn't it? But let's continue. I deserve to be away from these people. A long time ago. Exactly. Why don't these people take this opinion? But they don't. Why do you need to go to the gym? You're contradicting yourself. I think you better slow down. You know what I mean, people? Let's continue.
What can you do? What would you do at home? You can't go out and do what you need to do. You can't speak your mind because you just told all sorts of excuses. You've tried already. You know they lie when you go to speak your mind. No? So what would you do? Hopefully not laugh like that too much.
The laugh of ego. Hear it speak. Why I have a story about everyone taking what I've been doing. Isn't that right, Emma? Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. I can never get great fortune. I've got leeches. Let's continue.
You know why I'd want to be rich now?
I could hover off the ground, shoot lightning bolts out my ass, and I still wouldn't be able to get anything. Because I got leeches.
So I can have money to get them. To get the rich, you know what I mean? With abuse. So I'd get money to get people who abuse.
Don't abuse the help. So what does that mean? They come in to fuck your life so they can go, here we are to help you. Pretty sad, eh? Talk about control and pushing in. And all they had to do was be nice. And yet when they rocked up, they were dominating. And they're friends. Let's continue.
Anyway, also to help yourself by having a living situation and stuff. But the way I want to set things up, even that's going to help people, you see. But anyway, have a good one.
Can you see the story a little bit more from when this was done? They write stories and make it happen. They're quite equipped. Oh, I know what they do. That's why I'm not allowed to speak. That's why it's so hard to speak. That's why I've been telling my mum, you go, and I say it's a miracle if you can get the truth shown. We've got the video, got the truth here. See if you can go get it done. See if you can go get a complaint. No, because they're succubusing me. Do they pay you? Or do they do succubus people that are really poor as fuck? I don't know. But no one seems to care. Isn't that strange? And you know what? I don't seem to care about them anymore. Why? Because I have such a story. But yet, I'm still nice to the ones I don't know, but to the minimum, to the business, to the g'day, how you going? But when it comes to the heart, let's continue.
Colours, you know, unless they
I
already
don't
know.
feel like that's being selfish. I feel like it's being fair to make sure that y'all got a little piece, a little something.
Little piece of
That's why you
something.
want to see me do some actions at certain times
But that's just me.
that I've tried
And
to
other
do
people, I'm sure other
several
people
times
do
before.
whatever y'all do.
Like when it comes to
Now, how do they get these things? What are they using? Remember I've talked about devices and all sorts of other stuff that people are capable of doing if you have money.
oh, she just said she stays commuting, everybody. Why haven't I got a
Then they
client
use
over
excuses
years?
if they get caught that they're helping you. These people will never face me face to face because they're deceivers. I've got videos that people won't let me talk about, not even to my family can listen, about he that shall not be named. So, and having all these live conversations of internet conversations with these people a few years ago, and the crap that they said to me, and the nastiness that they say to me, and the people that are around me that I believe that work with such people, because it become more and more of them turning up, acting and saying the same similar shit. And it makes me sick to my stomach that I'm surrounded by such sick creatures that like to play such games and intimidation to people when it comes to the law and everything else, and then twist the stories around to make it look like that you're them. That's pretty bad, eh, people? Let's continue.
And said thousands. Right? I hear things like
As
this,
they
like
block
she's still
you and all
posting,
these
right?
things.
She's still uploading.
That's why I find it hard for me to spread my word. But I'm about to do something, and I've got to do it because of the things I love that are close to me. But these other things that want me to go out all the time. And I would if there was more love. And when I go out, I seem to always mostly get bullied. Definitely if it comes to me being involved in something serious. If it's just, yeah, g'day, how you going? What do you want to buy? No worries. But when it comes to me, I don't seem to exist. In fact, I'm shit and get told that. And I don't even have the disease I was born with, cystic fibrosis. Pretty shocking, eh? Imagine how you would feel feeling like that and getting called a pedophile and much more. Choked, all sorts of attacks. When I tried to do my shrines and find things, attacks. It's pretty fucking sad. It's amazing I haven't strung myself yet. And I had plenty of times when I thought about doing it. But I'd rather take my anger and my feelings towards the enemy.
Still commenting on the new stuff she's uploading. So, do you think it's just a person for money? And they say things to make them sound good for money, and they couldn't even upload a new video every now and then, because I've checked them all out over the years. That they're not on there anymore and not to comment. That's what I would have done. Or take off comments. Because otherwise they could cause more problems than they're speaking about healing.
That's important.
But anyway, have a good one, everybody. And you take your own opinion.
You can't force yourself to be
You all know what scripts are.
that you ain't supposed to be.
Actually got to do it. It's the way you are on it. You know what I mean?
It could be going through body pains and numbness or something like that. Alright, what else? This person really is jealous of you.
What?
They
Great
caused you a
sword?
lot of chaos.
Getting made? Great sword.
Wow.
Plus more.
Yeah, what was I just talking about?
Seeing things from a higher perspective.
And I used to do some recycling, plod along with my cystic fibrosis, worked for myself, managed to scrape up little bits of money to get necessary things when I needed to,
You like that? You go, well, this is the
starting to heal, And then a creature turned up.
You see? And they're like, I don't like
And
that
it's
feeling.
friends.
Well, it needs to be
Because this
for you.
person is their own worst nightmare.
For the last
You know?
Be careful
4
of
years now.
overindulging in alcohol. This person drink a lot or smoke a lot, and they could be having unexplained
Never had
body
more than
moves or
what you need
something
to do.
scratches.
Complaints and
Somebody
falsity
finding
in
dirt
all sorts of
It's very
sectors.
important. It'd be good that you're not on any
because you've been
drugs.
protected from
Right?
these trickster spirits or
People who
whatever.
are in important jobs have
You
issues
have
with their
Trickster
lives.
spirits.
some protection around you.
Now, when I started to do my art, I started hearing these characters, and I was on YouTube, everybody. Huh? It's got nothing to do with trickster spirits. In fact, these characters that speak, tarot readers and stuff, if they did such art, you'd expect people to speak about them, about trickster spirits and shit. But I have a spirit that keeps me company, a guardian angel spirit, right? And it's a righteous spirit. And when you have something that protects you, it warns you about trickster spirits. And so I did art in the feelings that I was getting within myself and within spiritual, right? That I didn't understand a little bit myself until over time to help me understand what I'm doing, because that's what spiritual is. You have your own connection, and then you see more to it that you're feeling, right? And I already had a feeling about who was who when I was doing my art. But I guarantee that when people look at my art, most of them say, shit, my God, I've already had some fans say that apparently, you know what I mean? I even recorded them. But I'm not allowed to speak about them because I am the bad guy that speaks truth, and they are the people who are tricksters, like trickster spirits, right? I don't send trickster spirits. I've never been into any high group to ever find out about magic. The only book I've ever bought was to protect from magic because there was weird shit going on when I bought a book. As my life got worse and worse since that day. I got tarot cards, got into these other people, and they only talked about me, picked on me, and they still do it probably today. I stopped listening to them. They make me sick to the core. Huh? So there's a lot of other things, and I can't wait to get away. I've been telling my mother that recently, haven't I, Emma? Yeah. Because the last 4 years, all I wanted to do was help, even though my life wasn't that great. But I decided that was the path I'd go on, being like a priest, but not one at a church. Isn't that right, Emma? Yeah. And went that direction, and all I had was the devil turn up and get protected and its friends. How do you feel out there protecting these people? Because if you are, you're as bad as them. And God will know this. Let's continue.
I really don't want to.
If there is a God,
Slow you down. If it doesn't slow you down,
still trying to prove a righteous God myself as hear my story, you see. It's such a story. You don't believe in a righteous God until you can get at least a life that is righteous. And I haven't had one. I always give other people righteousness, but I never receive it back. Isn't that right, Emma? I've helped out so much. You could say 10 days, and they've helped out probably 2 hours of one day. That's how much I help out people. And then when I finally needed help in the last 5 years, they gave me 2 days effort. Pretty sad. Couple lifts, couple of that. Now you're nothing. See you later. Faded away. You know those type of people. And yet I was a person that stuck around for years, helped them daily in some cases. Isn't that right, Emma? And these people abandoned me within weeks or months. Pretty sad, eh? And all I was doing is more righteous and speaking and learning about it. The only thing is, I lost my license. Then lost my income more, as you need a license to get around, to get recycling stuff and all that kind of stuff. Right? Good system you got out there. Then I went out and did community work and talked about it and connected through YouTube. And they shitted on me and attacked me for doing such things. And that's why I'm getting off. I've got to the last ending point. As they're still attacking me, I still speak until I can get away. And I guess that's why they won't let me get away, will they? But I'm still going to stop speaking. As I've said this now for about a year, as they continually attack me. So I speak. Because you know all I've got left is this bullshit. And a story that I'll hang on to and fight to the death to keep. Because that's all I've got left. And I'm not making too much more. I'm pausing because I have too much shit to fight for. You get it? Let's continue.
You good? In some cases, people have hearts and all this kind of
I
stuff.
could have a lot more shit. Could have done a lot more crap. Should be a lot more ahead. But I've deliberately gone slow because of leeches. Let's continue.
So it all depends on the person and the drug they're using.
Because if you can see my story, you can see that I can work quite quick in certain fields. In fact, I don't stop working. I don't stop doing this shit. I don't stop. And they say that I'm too quick or too slow. I'm just right. They're way too quick and way too slow in a lot of factors where they fuck up. Let's continue.
The people will propaganda that all day long and what's best and blah, blah, blah.
What I mean is, I'm patient enough.
My guy says this and this. But that's not, yeah, that's your guy over there. You want to talk about science and working out shit? Or do you just want to propaganda?
You know, your best way to recharge energy, usually people, stay away from humans.
And get paid.
They have a lot of issues.
Because he's going to pay you because he wants over there. You see?
Technology is one of their things.
That's the world he's mostly actually living.
Like I was just talking about now.
Facades of freedom. Right? So which country's really truly
So I do all this work,
by free laws?
and then this dick just rocks up and copies it. Pretty sad, eh? And guess what? I've been talking about that I'm a week, month, days ahead of what they talk about on the news. So if I was already speaking, I would have the up-to-date shit, right? But then they're like, oh, no, this guy's gold. Let's just steal it and talk about it. He's over there. We'll talk about it now. That's why I've got clips from ages ago, and you'll see several of them, where I don't have a story to say. That's why I don't want to see yous anymore. And I've got a story to continue, but you already took all my old story away. When can I continue? And you've took so much away, I don't want to continue with you.
Doesn't have shitload of loopholes. Makes the system easy.
Because I talked about a few years ago that I'm willing to help a little bit. But what? How long? As I'm getting shitted on? You got to be kidding, right? If anyone come to me and goes, you said you were willing to help a little bit, I'll go, but I was constantly getting shitted on. Why should I even be helping? Why should you believe that I should help you while you did nothing and watch like someone would talk about why I got shitted on? I don't think so.
But it's possible.
And I'll be saying that to many people actually. One day,
You don't make defense tools.
where were you? You notice a lot of these people rock up when you have a wallet, don't you?
Further in the future, a bomb bombs a tree, yes. Then later on, you can go back where that bomb was and camp it.
There you go, shebang, there's a coincidence.
That's fine. It's bad but fine in the end, because we can heal through that. But bombing or having a vehicle that pollutes.
And the last little thing, they took that too. That I can connect and play with, be close to. Been hanging for years, talked about achieving. Thought I got there, started making them Angel Memorial, and here comes the devil to fuck me with its friends. Let's continue.
Stay for 1,000 years or make it worse. A lot of things contaminate is a bad thing, and that's like totally opposite to defense. That is stupid defense. That's like defense to the inedible to the ruin of the end of why the thing now we're all fucked.
Now I've got to go do some more work because of all the great righteousness I did.
Cooler is better. Propaganda is cooler.
You know, all that work with the bird.
In this world. With caveman with toys, as they say. What would happen
Hard
then?
work, hard hours,
That saying.
just to be laughed at and shitted on.
Anyway, good luck, you
And then see people who don't do these efforts to get rewarded. sad as
You know,
fuck, isn't it?
Shane,
But that's Earth now.
that's what the good aliens would say to us, and bad aliens would go, perfect, things we can pick on, because no one really would like them anyway, and they might get a lesson. Bad guys say things like, ooh, we'll teach you a lesson. This shouldn't have been so easy. Look at me, where's your God? I'm going to put a bullet in you. Bad guys! They're aliens, they're all forms, they're entities.
She's one of them. What I was just talking about.
And you can do that.
She doesn't
Same
use a
with
bullet.
bad guys to you, can have
What does she
some bad
use?
guys. And when you do that to them, and hopefully you get a bad guy and send that line to someone else, get them, and then you do it back to them. And you know what they'll say? They're probably ready to die. And go, just go,
And I've already told
Or they'll
Emma,
do the same
if anyone's got
thing.
anything to say to
Why
me,
you should-
I've got a little group that I'll say, go see them, sorry. But it only takes a little group and blockages and stuff like that, because little groups can do that, to ruin it for everybody. Because that little group was the world to me, and that's how I see it now.
Can we do this? Let's make a deal. No.
For the last 4 or 5 years.
Come on.
You cut somebody off, or
So,
And you can get used to
don't
something
just
after
bad
that
guys,
time.
bad
it's
guys.
so hard to call
See how
somebody
bad
like
they
that
are.
in the beginning when you two
Make sure they don't know it's a test.
I learnt to dance well, and I learnt to stop well.
I
Haven't done it for a few years now.
These are good people, they do what they do to good people. They do.
I move around and jiggle. I know I can still
What do you reckon,
perhaps
bad
bring
guys?
them back, but
You just do it
I haven't danced for a whole
We do
song
it
really
for our
properly.
kids. You just doing a fantasy land, bad guys, I believe. Absolute fantasy land of their excuses. Bad guys are usually stupid because their excuses are stupid, right?
But it doesn't matter when they're protected.
They usually work by themselves. That's smart because bad guys want to kill bad guys again. Somehow they've got high egos. You know, group bad guys.
They can even hurt each other,
Usually not a good thing. Definitely.
and
does
nothing
start to get
happens.
bad. Usually it does. You know, fights at home and start bashing your brothers up. And then them ones get mauled off. You fight each other and it just gets worse and worse. That's bad guys in groups. Eventually, it gets worse and worse, and you have things like we heard not long ago of bad guys killing each other in the streets. See, good guys have been good. That never happened. See which way is better? If you're going to be bad, though, you're better off being singly bad. But you know what we've got in this world now? If you're going to be good, it's funny, you're better off being good singly. Because we're actually in a world that's so mixed of bad that they believe they're good, that it's not funny. And that it's very sad.
Yeah, have a good one. See you later.
And so to fix all